But to be honest with you guys, I'm making this video, and it's like 30 degrees out here. I'm freezing. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I actually had the company Super Clean reach out to me, and they'd seen some of the work that I'm doing and thought that their products may be able to help me. Now, they haven't paid me anything, they haven't, done anything like that. They simply sent me some of their products, told me to make an honest video and review it, see what I think. And so today, we're going to put these guys to the test, see what we come up with. Now, if you've been following along on the channel for a while, you know that, well, most of what I drive is junk. Nothing too shiny, nothing too clean, nothing that really needs polished. But everything I have leaks some oil and definitely needs some wheels cleaning. So what they sent me today is their wheel cleaner product and a couple of their Degreaser products. They must watch a lot of my videos. Now the funny part is, looking around the shop and in the yard and parking areas, nothing I have really has that nice of wheels that need cleaned up. I do have two vehicles though that we can try out at least the wheel cleaner on. And I got one that's definitely coming up, gonna get fixed, but before we do it, I'd like to address all the oil soak and everything going on. But it does need cleaned up and it's got a mess under the hood that I think Super Clean can help me with before I go to tackle that project. So let's jump out to the driveway here and take a look at her car and see what we're working with. Rinse wheel thoroughly with cold water. I think we can find some of that. Now if you live in the Midwest, well, it's still winter. So we'll definitely have plenty of cold water. Here's what I'm going to start with. The wife's car. Yeah, it's not looking so good down there. The other project I'm going to tackle is here under the hood. I got a leaking valve cover gasket, and this thing has oil everywhere. So let's see what Super Clean can do for me. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and give these old school Eagle billets a quick spray and see how they turn out. These things need polished really bad, so I don't have high hopes, but we'll see. Maybe this stuff will, do something. Anyway. Now, I'm not usually one to read through the instructions, but I know that wheel cleaner can usually be some pretty harsh stuff. So I want to see how long this stuff should sit on here. And it says to allow it to foam up for 30 seconds. Now, I'm going to say with as aggressive as this brake dust and grime is, I might give it a little bit longer, but I know that this stuff can usually be pretty harsh on painted wheels especially, and I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray all the wheels down, let this stuff soak in, and yeah, we'll come back to it after a bit. While I'm at it, I'm going to try some of this degreaser on the tires themselves. I've seen guys do this to try and take some of the just brown staining and overall nastiness out of it. So while we got those soaking, we'll let this soak. And you can already see just the grime and nastiness coming out of these tires. So I gotta say, that's working pretty well. Now it does also say on the directions that for extremely dirty wheels, you can agitate with a soft brush or sponge. Well, I found this old toilet brush, and it's kinda soft. I haven't used it in the toilet lately, so don't worry about that. I'd say these qualify definitely as an extreme case. So we're gonna give these a whirl. Oh yeah, and it's just breaking this stuff right down. It's actually doing really well. As a comparison, I think before I do the other side here, I'm gonna just try and wash them off and see how it does. Maybe even just use this bristle brush and see what it takes off without the wheel cleaner. There we go. About a minute or so of scrubbing, and it's definitely looking better from what I can tell. Alright, well, while we got the wheels soaking there, I'm going to go ahead and try out their all-new Easy Spray aerosol can. Now, I used the just old-school spray bottle on the tires, but let's try this aerosol can. Not sure how this is going to come out, if it's foaming, if it's, you know, what it is. Yep, nothing fancy to it. Just spray it on, wash it off, let it dry. So, it is foaming. Nice. Ooh, this stuff. I don't recommend taking big huffs of it, but this stuff actually smells really good. Interesting. Oops. Don't do that. Alright, kind of like the wheels with everything coated down now. I'm just going to let this sit, do its thing for a little bit. It doesn't really give a time frame. It just says spray it on, wash it off. Now, I imagine it needs a little time to kind of soak and do its thing, but we're going to give it a bit, just like we did the wheels, and come back and wash all this down. Well, because it's, you know, February and there's still snow on the ground, and also because it's like 30 degrees out, I'm over on the side of the house. That wasn't as cool as I thought it would be. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and fill up a jug with some water because I don't want to hook my garden hose up and have it freeze. I've watched some of these videos in the past, these deep cleaning and, you know, satisfying whatever videos, and everybody's always pressure washing everything. And I always think that's kind of cheating because, well, I'm full. Anyway, pressure washing always seems kind of like cheating because, well, you're spraying like 4,000 PSI at things. Of course, that's going to blow paint off. It's going to blow anything off. A little bit of grease and grime. Now, to me, I think this will be a pretty good test. 0 PSI. Well, between, you know, spraying down other stuff, getting water, doing all that, I've definitely exceeded their 30-second recommendation. So, hopefully, yeah, it's not dry on there. So I guess that's a good thing. But let's see what this does with just a jug of water. It's not rinsing off quite as well as I'd hoped, but I also did exceed their time limits. If you're one of the guys or gals from Super Clean, I know you're probably screaming at your screen right now that, hey, you're doing this wrong. You're making our product look stupid. I guess the way I look at it is, most of us regular consumers, we don't follow this anyway, so let's see how it stands up in a real world test. And by the way, I apologize if I am making your product look stupid. So far, I think it's doing a wonderful job though. Just don't let it dry on the wheel, like it says in the instructions. Alright, let's try that out. Half a gallon of water. Get half a gallon of water at half a PSI. Let's see what we get here. Spot there. That's a little curb rash. So far, that's looking spectacular. Just a little more dried on gunk that I forgot to get. Let's get down these lug nut holes. If I was doing this the right way, you know, of course, I'd take the wheels off. Actually, take my time. But to be honest with you guys, I'm making this video, and it's like 30 degrees out here. I'm freezing. But the instructions do say cold water, so couldn't get it any colder than this. Ah, there we go. You know, I'm all of a sudden realizing why they say to do one wheel at a time. Even though it's not dry, it's leaving a residue if I don't wash it off immediately. So, something to keep in mind if you're doing this job. Right, moment of truth. Need some more water. Maybe not. The upside is if you do it wrong like I did, it's just an easy fix. It scrubs right back off, little to no effort. It's not staining the rim, it's not discoloring the paint on it or anything like that. I'm out of water again. Let me go grab a little more. Well, guys, I would say for very minimal effort, this stuff does a very nice job. Look at that. And if you guys are worried about, well, Evan, look at all these toxic chemicals and all that stuff you're running right out into the street and into our sewer, and think of the poor birds and fish and the children, oh, the humanity. Well, there's this little green thing down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can read that. It's biodegradable. So, I'm not that worried about it, but thanks for your concern. Meanwhile, we'll come back under the hood here. Let's see how this stuff's working. Not too bad. You can see it kind of pulling all the oil and grime. That's all turning brown and nasty. Let's just take a quick geese around here. Yeah, a lot of it under there, back there. How's the back looking? That was the worst. Oh yeah, it's eating that stuff right up. Well, I say let's give it a quick wash. Yeah, you can see that there. Yeah, that's hopefully gonna look pretty good. So let's go back to the high PSI pressure washer here. Well, I'm certain I'm gonna have to make another water run here, but let's see how far we can get. Now remember, this was no scrubbing, no wiping it down, no nothing here. Just spray it on, let it soak, and rinse it off. Now I've used a lot. Oh, darn it. Out of water again. Now I've used a lot of degreasers over the years. I can't say that I've used Super Clean's products before. I don't remember if I have or haven't. So this is kind of like a first for me with them. I definitely haven't used their wheel cleaner. I'm not 100% sure if I've used their degreaser or any of those before. So I'm gonna go grab some more water. We're gonna, dump another gallon or two on its head. Probably get the air hose out here, dry it off real quick, and see how this is looking. All right, just got done wasting another jug of water on it, and I gotta say, it's actually looking pretty good. You saw before, well, actually, you can see right here, this real shiny spot right there used to be just a big pile of oil and just grossness, and it just rinsed right away. Now, some of the spots, you can kind of see, here, I'll give you an example. This little bit right here is just like some really gross, thick grime, and I can kind of just wipe it off, but you see how it's like turning gray? Yeah, a little bit down there. It's easy enough to just wipe off at this point now. But other than that, yeah, like here's a good example. A spot that obviously just spraying some stuff on and rinsing it off didn't get. But look, just literally wipes right away. So it's breaking it down for sure. You can see how, especially like around this seal here, had a little bit of a leak. You can still see some of the real nasty gunk on there, but it just wipes off. What about the backside? The backside was definitely the worst. Let's get a gander in here. Well, it's still all wet, so it's hard to tell, but you can definitely see like this spot right here, it's all shiny and clean. That was all coated in oil and some grime. Definitely some of the thicker stuff left back here, but again, all just wipes right off real easy. And otherwise, let's look over here. Yeah, there's some more of that grime. Look at that. Just wipes right up with my finger. So not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, well, I got the front wheel up there soaking, but I figured I'd give it a test run on this rear wheel and see what just water and a brush would do. See if there's any difference, if it really makes it that much easier. So I'm going to start out by just dumping a little bit of water on it and seeing if any of it will rinse away, just to show I'm not setting this up. And then after that, I'm going to come in with probably half the wheel and scrub it a little bit with the brush, and then the other half with the wheel cleaner and scrub it a little bit as well. See what difference we get. All right, first of all, let's just try some water. See what that does. Surprise, nothing. So I'm gonna just split it right down the middle here. This side, I'm gonna hit a little bit with this brush. I've already rinsed it out, so it shouldn't have any of the chemicals left in it. And it is taking some of this off. So I'm going to scrub just a little bit here, just as much as I would with the other product. I'm going to spray the Super Clean on this side, and then, like I said, scrub a little bit, and we'll take a look and see what the difference is. All right, just to kind of show what I'm doing here, this side right now is soaking with the Super Clean. I haven't actually scrubbed anything yet. This side, I did just as much scrubbing as you'll see on all the other wheels, and I can already tell some of these spots, like here, you know, I could probably get those with a really heavy amount of scrubbing, but unlike with the product on it, they aren't just coming right off. So I'm gonna let it soak for a few seconds here. I'm gonna give it a quick hit with the brush here, and then we'll rinse it all off and see what we're left with. All right, moment of truth. Let's give this a quick hit just to show, you know, none of this is dry. Probably shouldn't be touching all that with my fingers, but, you know, whatever. Wear gloves, people, when you're doing this. Don't be like me. Let's rinse this off. I'm sure if I had a pressure washer, you know, this would look just super easy. Just spray it on, rinse it right off, and, you know, it seems a little fake. So we're going for realistic here. Not everybody has running water. Alright, well, I'll tell you right away that this side is definitely cleaner. You can still see, like I was suspecting, a lot of these spots that are the real heavy grime. You can see if I really dig into them with my finger, they start coming off, but I really got to scrub on those. Let's see if there's enough chemical left in the just the brush here to get those out. There's a spot I missed. Yeah, that just melts that away. You can see it's the spots like this that you can see where I was scrubbing. You can see all the lines in it just from scrubbing up and down and front and back, but it didn't come off. And every wheel was that way, all around here. And then you get around to this side and that side. Oh, look, there it is again. There it is again. It's gonna be hard to do. There it is again. And there we are back to the top. So this is the side that I didn't use any chemical on. This is the side with the wheel cleaner. And just to show, it's not... This side I didn't use the wheel cleaner on. You can see there's a little bit left here in the corner, but because of the rotation of the wheels, this side doesn't tend to have as much buildup. So they came out pretty clean, but you can see all these hard spots that really didn't. So actually, I'm quite impressed with that. Now, if you've watched the channel long enough, you know I'm typically not much of a BS kind of guy. We'll joke, we'll laugh, all that stuff, but I'm not going to set up things that are, you know, intentionally misleading, I guess. I put the honest effort into this wheel to get both sides just as clean. Sure, I could have scrubbed the side with no chemical way harder and made it look just as clean and said, you know what, phooey on this product doesn't do what it says, but I want to give you an honest opinion, and if it's something I'd actually use, well, that just makes even more sense. So I just want to throw that in there. I know there's a lot of clickbaity videos and stuff like that, not giving very honest reviews on products. And like I said, all they did was send me the products and said, hey, do a review. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to finish cleaning this wheel. Now, since this stuff's called all wheel cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and try it on one of the pickiest wheels you will ever find. A polished aluminum bare wheel. Not clear coated, not anything like that. Bare polished aluminum. You can see, just by my finger, that's not coming off. That is grime that is in there. These things desperately need polished. But, let's see how this stuff does. So I'm going to spray it on now, let it sit for a while. Probably only going to use just a soft rag on these, just for a quick wipe. And then I'm going to rinse it off, and let's see how they do. Alright, just because I'm pretty well scared of any wheel cleaner on these other than me just hand polishing them, I have let it sit for about 30 seconds. I got a clean rag here. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe in there, just for any loose stuff that may be hanging on. And then we're going to rinse these things off. Let's get that brake dust right off there, I'll tell you that much. This stuff does, from what we obviously saw already, really well with brake dust. So if you've got brake dust or road grime in your wheels, it definitely attacks that. It also does not smell as good as the degreaser. So, something to bear in mind. This smells very acidic. So again, like I said before, probably should be wearing gloves. Sorry, super clean. But got some more water. Go ahead and dump it on its head. Get this stuff off there. Make a huge mess. Alright, grabbed another clean dry rag. I'm just going to wipe the rest of this water off so it doesn't water spot, which it's already got some water spots. I drive this truck in the winter. These things look like crap every year after winter's over, and they need a good polishing. So I know that that's coming. That's why I'm not too concerned about trying it out on these wheels. I'll tell you what though, as of right now, that looks a lot better. Some of these spots I'll never get out short of polishing, but it's definitely cleaner. Dry that spot a little bit more. It's definitely cleaner, it's definitely brighter. I'll give you a little before and after here so you can see what I'm talking about on this exact wheel. I haven't touched any of the other ones. So, yeah, thumbs up from me. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm actually really impressed with these guys and the products that they are putting out. I haven't tried all their other lineup of stuff. They have a few other products, but you know, I'm looking forward to it actually. I know I've seen this stuff at my local parts stores. Not very expensive comparatively to others. You're not paying for some fancy celebrity endorsement or anything like that. Maybe the Evan Wells 07 endorsement. Anyway, I think it's a pretty good value. I know most of these type of products you blow through an entire bottle or can just to do the one thing you're trying to do. So to have a lot of it left over for other future products, that's awesome. You'll probably see me using this stuff in the future on other things. It may not be a big promotional type of video like this kind of is turned into, but you'll probably see their stuff in the background. Anyway, I hope that was a little bit entertaining, maybe a little bit informative. And heck, I'll tell you what, call me part of the Super Clean family now. I think they have pretty good products. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time. I'll go out and clean some more stuff now.